Brodes Media.
Gross loss. I guess we'll have to put a disclaimer here before we start today's show. I am reacting strictly off of just this baseball game that I watched. I'm aware that there are 161 more games. I'm not hitting a full-on panic button where now I don't know if this bullpen can compete at all, or I don't think the top four guys in the lineup will never be able to rake. I'm not making those extreme claims, but when I pour out my emotions in the next half hour, let it be known that I am solely looking at this baseball game and letting you know that I'm frustrated that the Braves came to town game one. You had a 2-0 lead with an electric Brandon Marsh home run, and at the time I thought it was insanely special because Zach Wheeler works out of a jam and there was a threat. The Braves were active, gets out of that in the 5th inning. The Phils get a chance in their 5th inning. Here's Bryson Stott going down 0-2 against Spencer Strider, works an awesome at-bat, gets on base, and then Brandon Marsh pounces. The place was on fire. It was insane until it wasn't. And I won't rip Rob Thompson for this decision, pulling the starter, Zach Wheeler, after 6 innings and 89 pitches. It's opening day. If you get 6 innings and close to 90 pitches, 90, 91, 92, 89 on opening day, and you go to your pen, I have no issue with that. Now, maybe 8, 9, 10 starts into the season, I would like them to push Wheeler to maybe high 90s, and then from there, give him a longer leash. But on the first day of the season, I got no problem with it. Where I have the issue is Matt Strahm sucking, Jose Alvarado sucking, Connor Brogdon even being here on this roster. Those are definitely more conversations to have in my eyes. And I have no idea why you allow Matt Strahm to pitch to Duvall when Hoffman comes in, cleans things up, and keeps it a tie game 2-2. If maybe you go to Hoffman sooner, it's a different spot there. And, obviously the game sort of slipped out of your hands anyway, and it was super non-competitive. But I don't know if things change in that 7th inning, if you make smarter decisions prior to the outcome being 9 runs for the Braves, then maybe things change. I don't know. But I do know that this wasn't good enough. And there was a reason why I wasn't buying into this being the best bullpen in the entire sport. Now, they are going to come up large. They are going to be a good bullpen. But I definitely was not giving them the love and appreciation that some of the baseball world was, because, come on now, that doesn't happen here. I'm sorry. You're a fool if you think that this thing is going to be clean and crisp out of the pen. Of course not. It's Phillies baseball. You go through this type of pain, and until proven otherwise, I am going to believe that they will cause us a ton of trauma, no matter what your name is. Jose Alvarado is a dog. He's a force. But unfortunately today he wasn't, and he caused us a lot of significant time of emotional damage. That's just reality of it. And I need to see maybe a crisp 5, 6, 7 games of relief before I jump all in and say, here we go, baby. We're back. And let's take a look at our top 4 hitters, shall we? Kyle Schwarber, a magnificent 0 for 4. Trey Turner, a magnificent 0 for 4, and a horrendous play at shortstop where I thought we were going to clean up those really bad issues, the fundamental issues. A lot of his errors last season was just a lack of focus, a lack of attention to detail, maybe the stress of living up to the contract, and then the poor performance at the plate, and then that really did snowball into his play on the other side of the diamond. But man, this is just basic fundamental crap that he screws up, and he did it once again, and that bothers me because I really did project him to clean that area up big time. Bohm and Bryce Harper in the early stages made some great Gold Glove plays, which was fantastic. The issue is none of that is relevant after you lose as bad as you do. Bryce Harper 0 for 3, JT Realmuto 0 for 3, and I'm not just saying this now because I saw what JT provided for you, but I said this prior that I believe Alec Bohm should probably be your DH, only because, or excuse me, not your DH, your cleanup hitter, because I think that that his ceiling is higher than JT. Nick, I'm not a big believer. I think he just is what he is. I'm done giving the long leash of, hey, if Nick can do. I feel like I know what Nick is. I do. He has the ability to take off. He has the ability to maybe give us something like Rhys Hoskins does, where he had the 1 month and he tears the cover off the ball and he carries you for a little bit of time. But it's going to come with the struggles. It's going to come with the disgusting at-bats. It's going to come with the annoying at-bats. It's not going anywhere. We're in the multi-year part of this process of Nick Castellanos. This is what he is. So I think Bohm could be your most consistent right-handed bat with the ability to drive in runs, with the ability for his power to grow even more. So he gained 7 home runs from 2 years ago to last year. Let that still be a part of his game. So the ceiling and the projection is the highest out of all the right-handed bats on your roster, and you give protection to Bryce Harper. And if any of those guys could get on base in front of him, he can do the most damage compared to JT and Nick. So I actually like the idea of maybe putting Bohm there, and that's sort of what I kind of wanted to see happen anyway, but they stuck with JT, and we'll see what this means moving forward here. But yeah, it just stinks, man, because I was on 1,000 when Brandon Marsh hit that home run. So was he. He almost caught up to Bryson Stott, and you could see that his adrenaline was insane when he was in the dugout and giving the high fives, and CBP was on 1,000, and just out of nowhere, it quickly just evaporated after that 7th inning. What are you going to do? I mean, here's the beauty of Thursday not being opening day and the traditional off day on Friday. You don't have to waste 24 hours. Because if this happened on Thursday and then we had the off day Friday before game 2 on Saturday, we'd have to sit here with that stench in our mouths, that horrible smell of vomit in our mouths for a useless Friday. It was a pretty awful day for me. I took Brooklyn to see the Easter Bunny this morning. I got a nice fat iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Things were feeling good. I went to Rise Bagels and I got this outstanding cheddar bagel with egg white. High cholesterol, can't have normal eggs. And cheese on a bagel, and I'm like, all right, today's a good day. Today's a good day. A little windy, but we can live through the wind because Phillies baseball is here, and it just got ripped right out of my chest as the game sort of got to the important times. Like, it's important to close out games, and they couldn't. Pitching duel early. Zach Wheeler is disgusting. I mean, these Braves hitters, they can't do a thing against Wheeler. They don't know how. And Strider had a good amount of strikeouts. But we can get to Strider. You saw that. We can gain a lead on Spencer Strider. Sure, he might strike a ton out, but all it takes is one swing. All it takes is Bryson Stott to get on base. Tim Kelly, he does some things for Bleacher Report, for Phillies Nation. Jose Alvarado was charged with 5 earned runs for 2/3 of an innings of work today. Last season, he only allowed 8 earned runs over 41 1/3 innings pitched. So not a good start for your pen. Not a good start for one of your weapons, too. Sometimes that can mess around with your psyche. That ERA. I remember talking to Ricky Bowe about this. When you're a reliever, now obviously these guys are going to get a ton more work and a ton of innings pitched, but the way that your ERA happened with someone behind you, and it's so up and down, it's constantly moving because of your innings pitched and this and that, sometimes it could take a toll on you. I just hope that seeing those numbers, you got to block it out. You got to wash it out. You can't let it affect you. You got to take the ball the next time you get a chance and mow people down and be insane. All right? Because if I see another bad start from Alvarado, then it's like, okay, what's the third, not start, but an outing. If there's a second bad outing followed up by his first bad outing, and then it's like, all right, what do we get for the third outing? And now we're playing this game, 3 damn outings for your top reliever. Oh, this is good. Here we are. I didn't want to have this conversation today at all.